Hello, and welcome to the Practical Awakening Academy. If you feel as though your life hasn't changed for years, if you feel like you're sighing in frustration despite having read countless self-help books, attended seminars, and worked tirelessly to improve, then today's message may be the key that unlocks the invisible chains that have been holding you back. Why is it so difficult to change our lives? Is it a lack of talent? Not enough effort? Bad luck? None of these are the fundamental reason. The single, most powerful reason why so many people cannot change their lives is something else entirely. It's the ingrained beliefs we hold about ourselves. This is just the kind of person I am. There's no way I could ever do that. Success is only for people with special talents. These assumptions function like an invisible operating system that governs our lives. No matter what amazing applications, meaning, effort or knowledge you try to install, if the OS itself is outdated, you can never fully utilize its potential. So, how can we possibly rewrite this powerful operating system? Many people think, first, I need to build my confidence, or I can't take action until I first change my beliefs. But today, I am going to share a completely opposite approach, one that successful people practice, either consciously or unconsciously. It is a powerful method of awakening, built on a simple premise: action changes belief. The legendary entrepreneur and philosopher Jim Rohn expressed this principle in this way. He said, "There is advice that tells you to fake it till you make it, but I wouldn't say that. Instead, I say, act as if you are a person of supreme excellence." This is on a completely different dimension from simply bluffing or feigning baseless confidence. It is not about becoming arrogant. It is a declaration of intent, a decision to impose a standard upon yourself, the standard of how would the ideal, best version of you think, speak, and act in this very moment. And then to live according to that standard. Let me share a slightly embarrassing, but important, story from my own experience. Early in my career, I was given the opportunity to lead an important project. But at the time, I had absolutely no confidence in myself. Everyone else on the team seemed more experienced and knowledgeable, and I was completely dominated by the belief that I am not cut out to be a leader. My voice trembled when I spoke in meetings, and I constantly hesitated to give direction. Then one day, I came across this quote from Jim Rohn. And I made a decision. For just one day, starting with the next meeting, I would try to act as if I were the most outstanding leader in the room. The next day, I was the first to arrive in the conference room, and I took a moment to take a deep breath. When the meeting began, although the fear was still there, I sat up straight and, in a clear voice, I shared my vision. Instead of judging the members' opinions, I listened deeply and suggested roles that would best utilize each of their talents. I wasn't just faking confidence. I was trying to embody the ideal leader itself, one who sincerely wishes for the success of their team and does their best for that purpose. In the end, did that project become a massive success? Not exactly. We had a few failures. But something inside of me had fundamentally changed. By the time the project was over, my belief that I am not cut out to be a leader had vanished. Even though I had experienced failure, the very fact that I had acted like an excellent leader had rewritten my self-perception, my beliefs, from the ground up. It was the moment my actions upgraded my inner operating system. Our brain has a fascinating quality. It's not very good at distinguishing between a real experience and an action that is strongly and consistently imagined and embodied. When you begin to consistently act as your best self, your brain starts to recognize that as the new normal. By repeating that action, a new neural circuit, a wide road in your mind called a habit is formed. And when that road becomes your default route, your very character transforms, and a new reality, one that is fitting for your new character, begins to manifest around you. What becomes crucial here is having a growth mindset. Acting as your best self is not the same as being perfect. It's not about playing the part of some godlike, omniscient being. Instead, it's about embodying excellence, which means always doing the best you can with the resources and knowledge you have right now. Even if your knowledge is lacking, you act by asking, what would my best self learn right now? Even if your skills are underdeveloped, you practice by thinking, how would my best self practice and refine themselves? This attitude of continuous learning and growth is the essence of excellence. And truly excellent people, those who act according to truly high standards, all share a common quality, humility. The act of holding yourself to a standard as if you were superior has nothing to do with looking down on others. In fact, it's the opposite. It is precisely because you have absolute confidence in your own standards that you can sincerely celebrate the success of others and acknowledge their talents. Your self-worth is not threatened by their success. This establishment of your own axis, combined with respect for others, is the foundation of true leadership. Of course, this process is accompanied by fear. The moment you try to act according to a higher standard than your current self, the old OS in your mind begins to resist powerfully, saying, "Stop it, you can't do this. What if you fail?" But courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the act itself, the act of taking one step forward according to the high standard you have set, even while feeling fear. To act with fear. Each and every one of those steps rewrites your self-perception and forges you into a new person. And this principle is not limited to your career or success. It is a universal law that can be applied to every single aspect of your life. In your relationships, ask yourself, how would the best version of me treat my partner or my friends? Wouldn't you act with more tolerance, more love, more sincerity? The moment you begin to act in that way, the quality of your relationships will change dramatically. The same is true for your health. If I were in a state of perfect health, what food would I choose, and how would I exercise? By treating yourself in this way, your body will begin to respond and move toward a state that is appropriate for that treatment. Financial management is no exception. If I were financially independent, how would I manage and invest my money? By handling money from a perspective of abundance, not fear, your very relationship with money will transform into a healthy one. What is essential is consistency. Acting as your best self just once is nothing more than a single event. It is through practicing excellence daily, in your daily choices, your daily actions, your daily habits, that true change occurs. That small consistency is what will eventually bring about a long-term, irreversible, fundamental change in your life. This is not a process of becoming someone else. It is not about playing the part of a false self. Instead, this is the most certain and practical path to becoming the authentic you, the person you, in the depths of your heart, truly wish to be. The person you truly want to become is not waiting for you in the distant future. They exist in your next action, your next word, your next decision. So, why not begin today, this very moment? You do not need to wait to become an excellent person. You only need to act as if you already are. That single step will change everything.